And we are live. I took a nice power nap. I needed it. This game gave me a headache earlier. I've got to make soup soon. Cup of noodles or Progresso. Cup of noodles is loaded with salt. Oh my God, the Progresso has no salt. But I'm going to bring on... Oh, shit. Shit. I've got to make this public. Did I? I guess I did. Okay. First, I'm going to bring on Chris DePerno. Let me make sure I'm muted. Oh my God. Okay, so now this dead air is giving me a big headache, Kendrick.
Oh my God.
Oh, do me a favor. Where are you?
Yes.
Okay. Go in here in the laundry area. There's these cans. I mean, the cup of soups.
Mm-hmm.
It's on the left-hand side. Make me one. Put hot water, run the hot water. Put it in the microwave for just 1 minute. And you know, because it'll cook quick. And then if you cook it too much, it'll explode, like, literally.
So you got the soup where?
All right, open. No, not in there. Open in the laundry room.
Oh.
Ponle la luz. Put the light. Underneath all that shit on where the oatmeal. Look to your left. You see all that oatmeal and all that nasty shit? The cup of soup is underneath that on the left side in the box. It's right underneath that pile. You might be able to. You see it?
Yeah.
You see how I cleaned that fucking area?
Yeah, dude.
It's still got a lot of shit in it, but at least it's a neat bunch of shit in it.
So how many minutes in the refrigerator?
All right, so run the hot water till it's like hot.
Yeah.
Fill it. Put it in the microwave, uncovered, you know, like the way it is,
Yeah.
for 1 minute. Just press 1 on the microwave.
Should I just? I think it's better if I add purified water, no matter if it's cold or hot, and then put it for 2 minutes.
Try that. Yeah, use the purified water.
Yeah, dude.
All right. So Chris DePerno's going to join me. We're going to talk about this KGRA event that's going to happen on Saturday. I wish I was here, but of all freaking things, I will be at a concert. But it's in good hands with Eric and Chanel and everybody over there in Utah. So I'm not, should be fine. But it's going to be the film and then a panel with Renee Barnett, Chris DePerno, host of MUFON, What's Up, Jim Mann, host of Dark Window, then the person who created the film, John Yost, and the hypnotherapist hypo. Eric is doing excellent. Eric is completely back. I mean, he definitely is, thank God, 100% back. Well, nobody's 100%, because like me right now, I'm like fucking 90. With this, I'm still dealing with this chest shit. I would say he's, same thing, about 90. He's in good shape. He went through hell. I'm going to tell you. That young guy went through hell with his back. What's up, Jay? It was horrific with his back. And I was there, I talking to him all the time when all that was going on, and I kept it private. You know me, I don't talk people's business. But thank God he's okay. And how do I know? And he'll, just like me, he's still, he's still healing. It's just, he had a major surgery. But just like me, I get back pain all the time from sitting down. Well, I could tell you when we were in Roswell together, he's like, in a stupid way, not as hyper as I am. But when he's on a mission, he's on a mission. He's very focused on his goals, what he wants to achieve and what he wants to do. So he was on a mission doing all these things. I'm on a mission doing all these things, but like it worked as a team perfectly because he was with the camera filming, you know, the clips that you see on kjradb.com. The members area has access to it. The interviews, there's 10 of them, I think, there. UFO Expo. But he was focused on the camera, doing his work, setting up the equipment, you know. I was focused on running around and getting people to come and speak. Who's going to be next, lining them up to be interviewed. And sometimes that's not so easy because you got to run and find these people and then follow them. And then not interfere with a conversation they're having with other people and then talk to them and see, when can we do this, blah, blah, blah. And of course, me, I also always help other people as well. So it's not just on one mission, I'm on like 5. But he walked with me back and forth to the hotel. He hung out with me late night. He stayed with me. He hung in with me, so that says a lot. Because I'm hyper and I run around, and he was right there. It was cool, and we saw the band. Trust me, he's doing a lot better. If he can handle all that, he's doing. And like anybody else, we have our good and bad days. But let me get Chris, because we're going to talk about this a little bit. NI detective. Where is he? Oh, he's on. Oh, shit. Okay. The notifications work for you, Jay? For once. Let me call him. I hate the sound of Skype. I'm going to lower it. You got it to work? You got it to work? Uh-oh. Did you get it to work?
Did I get what to work?
Skype on the new computer?
Yeah, do you see me?
Yes, I do. Look at that. It looks good, too. They can't see you unless you want to be seen. Do you want to be seen?
Yeah.
Let me see if I can do it. There he is. All right, let me share my screen with you so you can see what's going on in real time. Should work, I think. No, wait. That's not the one. Which one am I doing? The DePerno one. You should be able to see.
Yeah, there I am.
There you are. So, Chris DePerno, of course, is the host of MUFON What's Up that airs on Tuesdays, 8 to 10 p.m. Eastern. And then the following night, I Detective from 6 to 7 p.m. Eastern.
Just had a great show.
I was just going to ask you, how did the show go tonight?
Awesome. We really knocked it out of the park with everything that's going on in Los Angeles. People have no idea, and I didn't even realize how bad Los Angeles is, that they are begging the retired police officers to come back to work. Begging them to come back to, and the guys are going, I'm retired. Why would I ever want to come back? They have so little people in the academy right now that are passing that they lost over 1,000 police officers are gone.
Chris, who in their right mind would go back to work for the police department in the state that it is over there? Are you nuts? It's like, no, so you're going to throw all this shit on me to come back and expect me to help with training or just to be back on the force because you're shorthanded? Shorthanded tells me that's a flag. That's a flag right off the bat.
Here's the most unbelievable thing, and this is one of the things why nobody wants to be down there, is that with no fight whatsoever, the Los Angeles City government, gave this group that is anti-police every picture of every LA police officer.
I know you told me this.
They got their pictures, their names, their serial numbers.
Addresses?
Oh, not yet.
Oh,
They're
thank
trying
God.
to get
But
those
still,
now.
if they got their
But-
names, I could search a name and their information could come up. So
Yeah, but you see, included in that are all the undercover officers
it's horrible.
that are infiltrating the gangs and everything.
The gangs would love access to that.
Oh, they got it. They got it. They have to pull these guys out of these undercover operations for fear that they're going to get shot.
Okay, so
Tortured.
you know what this tells me, and I'm just saying, the civilians need to be separated from the actual police groundwork and those that are involved, because they're the ones that are fucking leaking out this information. It has to be administrative. It has to be someone in administration that works in the police department who's a civilian working in the police department that leaked this out, because I highly doubt it was an officer themselves.
Well, I could tell you they're doing an administrative investigation to try to figure out what's going on, but the damage is done. I mean, it's not like you can correct this. The damage is done.
Yeah.
It's already out there.
They're done. They're exposed. Done.
Yeah. So now you have all these guys that have infiltrated hate groups and gangs and narcotics and everything. They got to yank them all out. They're like, how are you going to leave this guy and tell him, say, hey, listen, they got your picture out on the street, but can you still do? You can't do that.
Can you imagine an officer telling his wife or spouse that that's happened and how it affects the family?
Now, here's the kicker to it. The same group wants every police officer's height, weight, hair color, all that stuff.
Oh, so they want like a full description?
Full description. The reason being is because if in fact they say, well, this police officer did this and this and this, they're going to try to find out who the guy is by his height and weight. How are you going to do that? That's crazy. You can't go by height and weight.
Time out. Why? They're putting so much effort on officers. Why does this effort go for criminals?
No.
You know what I mean? Like, you're doing it like you're fucking investigating them like criminals. Why don't you do that to the real criminals?
Billy, they're going to let open the LA. There's a proposal to ban the LA County Jail. No jail.
So where are they going to put them?
Nowheres. Nowheres. I mean, that is the most insane thing. They don't want to put anybody in a jail. So if you go commit murder, you are not going to go to jail.
I can't believe that, Chris. I find that impossible to believe.
Well,
a murderer is going to just walk out.
Watch the show, and we got to get 2 LA experts. One of the guys is a retired city councilman. He was on the board. He was an LA police officer for 33 years, then got elected to the city board. And he says what's going on right now, he just went off the wall. He did one of those Don Eckert rants. I mean, we could just let him go. And he was telling us that, do you know, and they kept us quiet, in San Francisco, this is how bad the crime is in California. San Francisco has called out the National Guard. The governor called out the National Guard to help suppress the drug crime in San Francisco. And don't you think that's going to spread to LA and other places?
Okay. Now, I dealt with this years ago when I was in a situation. What was going on back then in New York City? This was in the mid to late 2000s, and the shelters were riddled with people that were dealing with addiction, whether it was alcohol or drug. I actually seen a veteran die in his bed at this facility, and I asked the person that was in charge of the facility, why aren't they getting any help? We can't force them to get treatment. It has to be voluntary. And now I'm saying to myself, how the fuck are they going to do it voluntary? Chris, I've seen it. First of the month, they get their checks, they get their drugs, they get their shit, and they just stay high the whole time. How are they going to volunteer for something when they've got to cot, a place to sleep, even though it was horrific, the conditions. But these people need help. And
Yeah.
here's the problem. Nobody wants to foot the bill in these cities.
But
for
we're
treatment.
footing the bill for illegal aliens.
But here's the thing. This is what I'm saying. They didn't want to pay for the mental health part of it or the treatment for. It's like cut. And then what happens? It's a disaster because they're not getting the help. They're actually dying. So like what you're saying is cutting funding from whatever it is. What are you going to do then? How the hell are you going to deal with the situation?
You're right. You're
can't.
absolutely right, Bill. It's just absolutely crazy that.
What are you going to do? This is what I would suggest. People, advocates of police officers, there, in whatever city, L.A., San Francisco, and too bad you don't have the Hollyweirds because most of them are all liberals. But it would be good to have a rally. So, and talk to the people in that community and tell them what the hell is going on, and have their side so that the people understand your safety is at risk. This is a critical point right now where we're at as the infrastructure for police law enforcement in this community. If something's not done now, I don't want to sound like like a worst case scenario person, like the end of the world Armageddon, but these streets will no longer be safe, and they're not going to be able to sustain your safety.
Here's what I was talking to some experts, and here's what they're thinking is going on. Nothing is a coincidence. I truly believe that after 25 years of police work. What some experts are saying, and in police work, they're thinking that the U.S. government wants to get rid of all the local police departments, possibly all the state police departments, village, towns, cities, and have a federal police force. Now, to me, that's frightening.
That's crazy. That's the separation between state and federal. That would be insane.
Right, and
That
then you would be under
that's not gonna
federal.
happen.
You would be all totally under federal law.
The states will fight that. States will fight that. Now, wait a second,
States
though.
might not have a choice.
But see, a state may have a choice and decide to go with it. This is
That's
one of those,
scary, too.
because if you look at the abortion situation, it's similar. Some states refuse, some states are still. So the same thing could apply in this situation. Some may want to go with the federal law enforcement policy, and some may say, screw you, we're keeping our state and city. The thing is, though, what comes after that, how much federal money are they going to get if they
None.
decide?
That's the key, is that they'll deny them federal aid, federal assistance if they don't go along with the policy.
To force them to go with it.
Correct.
Or
We
try.
are starting to become a totalitarian state. This is and it's happening so fast that people aren't even.
They don't realize it.
It's going so fast that people aren't figuring out what the hell is going on.
The public isn't. I don't think the public is fully aware of what's really going on. I honestly don't.
No.
Not. Let me say in general, there are probably maybe 40-50% that probably have no idea what the hell's really going on.
No, I mean, I didn't know all the things in L.A. that these guys were, because they're right there, and they have the pulse of the police department, they have the pulse of the city council, they know what's going on, and they want to turn these cities into just unbelievable hellholes. I mean, I wanted to say something more diplomatic.
The wild, wild west, Chris, is coming back.
That's exactly it. But look at Chicago. Chicago, on Friday and Saturday nights, the younger kids are texting each other, hey, all of us meet down here, let's get 50, 75, 100, 200, and it ends up being almost 1,000. And they just go from store to store, break in, loot everything, run amok, destroy public property. And the cops in Chicago are powerless because the mayor says back off. They're just children. So, what are you going to do when your boss is saying, let them destroy all this property, let them go ahead and steal everything? I mean, you're pretty. And then everybody is, why aren't the police doing anything? Well, the police would be happy to grab all of them and bring them to jail, but the mayor's already said he doesn't want that. He does not want. He said, "Back off, leave these kids alone." Kind of a deal.
Did you see what happened today? I
Where?
don't know if you heard about this. The escaped Mississippi jail inmate who
Yeah.
he shot an officer,
Yeah.
but they got him. They got him.
Yeah.
Um,
But you should see the lineup of cops that are being killed every day.
He was
You
lucky.
would unbelievable. See, we only hear about a few, but if you go to the officer memorial page, which shows the latest police officers that have died in the line of duty, the officer memorial page, the number will be startling. And they just don't die of gunshots. They're stabbed. They're run over by cars. Are you still there, Bill?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. They're run over by cars. They die of COVID. They die of all kinds of things, and the number is astronomical. I mean, we dedicate a show. We dedicate a show to every fallen officer, and our idea was to go back in time, and we can't do that because so many officers are dying in the line of duty that the only ones we show in the show, there's so many, we don't have enough shows, and we had to limit it to either a high profile stabbing or a gunshot, gunfire, or something of that heinous type of situation. And so all these poor souls that we want to dedicate and tell their stories, we don't have that amount of time. Usually you would have, enough time and enough shows to do that. We don't. That's how bad cops are being killed.
I don't think anybody can see you on the screen now because I got a message from Eric. And I don't want to put all my information up on the screen.
No, don't do that.
Yeah. But let me see if I can get it to work again. Skype updated, and it's kind of acting a little crazy on me right now. But anyway,
I'm still trying to figure out this new computer I bought.
I'm just trying to get you on the screen without having it all shown on the screen itself. I just had it too. You saw yourself, right, on the screen?
Yeah, before.
Yeah. Now they never find a way to just keep making this worse. Skype. I'm trying to get you on this. There we go. They changed the buttons around.
What's up with that? And they didn't even ask us.
This is the way they do. All right, let me see if I can move it over now.
There you go. Hey, I'm back.
Anyway. So, who'd you guest on next week before I go move on to
I got a great guest. Now listen to this. We have a retired alcohol, tobacco, firearms special agent who did undercover work, and he was instrumental of finding out stuff about the Oklahoma bombing. Remember the Oklahoma bombing?
Yeah. Wow.
The federal building?
Mm-hmm.
Well, he was right in the middle of that. And some of the things that he told me, my mouth dropped open. And it sounded like this whole thing could have been prevented.
Oh, that's going to be an interesting show next week.
It's going to be a great show.
Make some teasers so I can run them.
I will make some teasers. We're gonna do it. We actually put him on as a co-host to get him prepped, and so he was helping us with tonight's show. But we had some great guests tonight. Oh my God, Dennis Zane and Moses Castillo are the most two informative, funniest cops you will ever meet. They're bright, witty, and man, oh man, they don't hold back. I matter of fact, I said, "Hey, Dennis, I really someday want to get the real, pull the real truth out of you." And he started laughing because he just went off.
You know something?
I call it a Don Eckert rant.
The truth is also part of the frustration of just trying to get the truth out there and having people listen. You know, they're under a lot of stress. Now, he's retired, yes, but speaking on behalf of what all the officers go through on a daily basis is, you know, there's no words for that. People just don't realize it.
The PTSD,
Oh.
people don't realize how significant PTSD is to the military people and to law enforcement people, because the statistics show that a normal person will probably have 3 to 4 traumatic events in their lifetime, on the average. Okay? A police officer in the course of his career will have over 700.
I'm sure, not to cut you off, but I'm sure the same probably could be not about. I don't know what the number would be for this, but EMTs,
EMTs,
firefighters, people that work in the emergency rooms, you know, the doctors that do the surgery,
nurses, doctors, the whole bit.
It takes a even a person that's doing the cleaning or bringing the dinner to a patient. And, you know, like me, I talk to them. I'm sure they talk to a lot of people. And to see that every day, the people that are sick in the beds and deal with that mentally, you know what I mean? People don't realize a lot of us go through a lot of stress. But certain individuals that are there for our safety and for our care, they go through a lot, Chris.
I will tell you, the ones that really go through a lot, Bill, are the registered nurses, the nurses. They are unsung heroes. There's such a shortage of them. It's just like the cops. Nobody wants to be a nurse nowadays. But the job that they do, I mean, is just unbelievable on how they do it. My wife was a nurse for years. And, I mean, she would jump on people's chests to get their heart started. She'd be on top of pummeling, you know, yelling, you're not going to leave me. You know, high stress operations that she did with doctors. And these guys do an unbelievable job saving people's lives, and people do not give them the recognition that they deserve. Nurses
I agree.
Are
100%. And your family, your daughter and your son-in-law are also in the medical area.
Yeah, my son-in-law runs the children's hospital up in Buffalo.
Imagine what he goes through. Imagine what he goes through, seeing the kids suffer.
Oh my God! Every little Nick baby he's responsible for. Can you imagine all these children that are almost on death's door, and he's right there keeping them alive?
What about the RSV? What about the RSV, Chris, with the children? Has he seen a lot of that, or?
I can tell you, I got the RSV, and
So
that
did I.
was worse than COVID.
It was for
and
me
you
too.
got it, Bill, and that was, I think, worse than COVID.
Absolutely. I got no effects from COVID. None.
Yeah.
But for this,
RSV kicked my butt.
it's still doing it for me. There's actually a couple of questions coming in for you, Chris.
Sure.
So I'm going to start with Charles. Charles Smart. I'm sure you're familiar with him in the chat rooms.
Hi, Charles.
He says, about the Oklahoma bombing. Was this the German connection to Oklahoma City? Do you know?
I'm going to let the guest talk about that, because he was an undercover ATF agent that worked in Oklahoma at the time, and there was some shenanigans that just he's got to tell you, but it will make your jaw drop open, because the stuff that he went through. He was working fast and furious. One of the things that we're going to talk about him and his partner. His partner is going to come on a show in a later time. And we're going to talk about Fast and Furious, and we're going to talk about gun running and a couple of apparently district attorneys that were corrupt. And bad.
That's no surprise.
So bad that they tried to arrest his partner twice.
Wow.
And to stop their
investigation,
because apparently they were on the verge of taking down one of the biggest meth labs.
Not right now, Mom.
And also taking down, I guess, a whole bunch of guns.
Ask him.
That he was involved in an investigation. Mm-hmm. Him and his partner. I will tell you this quick story because this is amazing. His partner and him were driving down the highway. They were stopped by a police officer who I guess worked out of some office. I'm going to let him tell you, not me, but he worked out of an office. And he walked up to the car and he says, "You two guys need to back off."
Wow.
And they knew what he was talking about.
Wow.
But can you imagine that here these guys were on such a sensitive investigation that another cop came up to them and told them, "You need to back off."
Wow. Wow. That's deep.
Yeah. And then, the stuff that his partner, because they tried to shut him down by trying to arrest his partner. And when they failed the first time, they went after him again because they needed to shut this guy down. Now, they say Todd Nunley, who's the ATF agent, said that he was following a truckload of guns. There was a huge shipment of guns they were following. And he got a call from Washington to back off. No explanation, right? They were going to take him at the border.
Is it possible? I was going to say, is it possible the government was working on their own little sting operation and they had people involved and they didn't want this to be a compromised investigation by two local cops? But
I think Charles and a lot of other people should be in the show next week.
I'm going to watch
it. Ask Todd these questions.
All right, so
answers.
Moving on. Also, I think this is in relation to the PTSD. Has anyone made a lifespan study on this?
Of what kind of study, though?
I think that Charles, correct me. Maybe in regard to the PTSD. As what the officers go through throughout their careers, their lives. He'll correct me in a second if I'm wrong. If that's what he's been.
I think, as far as studies go, a lot of police departments haven't adopted it yet, and I'll tell you the reason why. Is because the old school thought was, suck it up, buttercup, you're a cop. And that's just the way life is, move on. The new thought costs money. And with the way budgets are nowadays, because everybody wants to defund the police, the first thing that gets cut from budgets are training, which is stupid, and stuff like PTSD and stuff. So they can't cut salaries, they can't cut benefits and stuff like that. So they cut training and all the other stuff that is vital, but they say it's got to go. So that's what happened to one of my friends. One of my friends was working with police officers with PTSD, and chief one day says, "You're out of here. You're going. That's it. Goodbye. You're all done." And so, how do you combat that if they don't want that? Because one, it's going to cost them money, and two, if the guy is seriously injured, a traumatic thing, he's going to need therapy. He's going to need time off. You're not going to put this guy back out on the street. And the way, the shortages and everything, a lot of, not all, but some departments do not want to hear this.
Of course not. Of course not.
Did that answer Charles' question?
He says, an actual study, how many years that takes from your life. Drinking, okay. Drinking, broken marriages, just plain stress.
Oh my God. It takes
shortens their lifespans.
Yeah. Police officers have... what people are not hearing is that there's such a high rate of suicide now with police officers. Nobody's actually given out records on the alcoholism because nobody wants to report that, they're an alcoholic because of police work.
Yep.
And, everything else under the sun.
So that means what you just said, a lot of them may have a lot of personal issues, personal even demons with alcohol or something else, that they don't make it public to the police department. They don't come out. So can you imagine that they're dealing with all this and there's no identity to know exactly what's going on with them personally?
Well, that's the
horrible.
problem, Bill.
You're
You're right on the money. The problem is that police departments.
Oh my God.
See, here's the thing. Police officers are very worried that if they go to a representative right? Other than a doctor, other than a psychiatrist, right? They're in a catch-22 because let's say I go to a police officer representative and I tell him, hey, the PTSD is really bothering me, blah blah blah.
Medical leave.
No, it's not confidential. See, that's the thing. That representative can be compelled to testify against you.
Wow.
Whereas a doctor or a lawyer cannot. But here's the catch-22. So you go to a psychiatrist and you talk about this. What's going to happen to you then? So you're in. I mean, you always want to be safe and you always want to see the police officer healthy. But because of the way it's structured, it needs to be revamped and be done better where a police officer can go to a representative and talk in confidence and it doesn't leave that room.
Absolutely.
Unless, and I agree with this, he is a danger to himself or others.
Yeah, that goes without saying, yeah.
Right.
Oh, here's more questions. Then we're going to flip over to the other thing because I'm not going to keep you all night.
It's okay. You know I love being on with you.
Let's see. Jay says, why don't they use drones with full video, audio, and a place to put ID info for traffic stops?
Because, Jay, here's the thing. It can be abused. So let's say I put in drones, cameras, and everything for traffic stops and everything. So I get a picture of your car. Let's say, just like the cameras that are up for stop signs and traffic lights and everything. How do you know I'm driving the car? So if somebody is using my car and commits a crime, and I'm not aware that that person is using my car, because let's face it, your teenager, your wife, your whatever, is using the car, and they get caught on camera doing something. You know, technically, if you don't know who was driving that car, in some states, some areas, your registration could be suspended. So therefore, I'm being punished because I don't know to tell you. Now, see, that's the thing. Normally in a criminal case, you're not compelled to be a witness. If I go to a homicide scene, and let's just break it down into that, and I go to the crowd, okay, I got a dead body here, and who saw it? Whether they saw it or not, they're not compelled to tell me. And that's the same thing with any type of traffic stop or anything. You're not compelled to tell me who committed the crime.
All right, I get that. But I think I don't want to speak for Jay. I'll just make my own opinion on this. If you had a drone and when the officer pulls off, on the side of the road and they stopped the vehicle and they've got a drone that can now go to the front and do face ID it's almost like checking the plates, but like you said, it could be a different registered plate. It's not the person that's actually driving the car.
Right.
But it can also, it's not just for face detection. It can also see everything that's in the car, like a weapon. You know, it can scan the interior of the vehicle. Wouldn't that be
That's coming.
That would be helpful, I think.
And for safety reasons, that's not a bad idea. It's a great idea, Jay. And I'm all for that as long as it doesn't. I'm a constitutionalist. Even though I was a cop for 25 years, I believe in the Constitution. So if you're not infringing on the Fourth Amendment, you're not infringing on a person's rights, I'm all for technology. If technology will keep the person safer or me safer, and that, then I'm all for it. Jay, that's a great idea.
And Jay said, yes, I did mention what he was trying to say. Yes.
Right. Cops are using drones now. They are using them for, hostage negotiations. They're using them for trying to find criminals in the dark and backyards and everything. It's cheaper than flying a helicopter. In my days, we used to call Air One. If we were pursuing an armed robber or a murderer in somebody's backyard, which I have done several times, if it's like, okay, we're in a real bad neighborhood, we're in a real bad area, he could be hiding behind a bush, we know he's got a gun or something, we would call for Air One, so we could use their infrared cameras and use that. The drone is the same exact thing than that, and it's cheaper and it's better because we can actually fly it in close. And if he shoots a drone, who cares, right?
But
he didn't shoot a cop. He didn't shoot a helicopter.
at the same thing though, Chris, couldn't they make, let's call it a kamikaze drone, like say in a hostage situation, they can go in,
blow the person up.
not blow the person up. I'm not saying to kill them, but to take them out, take them down.
They did that in Dallas with a robot.
But I'm saying more with like a flying drone, like could
Yeah.
be very small, and maybe it hits them with a tranquilizer, something high dose
Why
tranquilizer.
not, and that's a great bill. Why not put a taser to a drone?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So
to give the
you can
time,
remote control. I don't know if we have that technology.
or even a freaking flashbang, or tear gas, anything that can be done to take this person down momentarily enough for the police officers to respond and take the person down themselves. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I mean, you have to understand the capabilities of a drone.
True.
You have to understand the capabilities of a taser. You have to understand the capabilities of how that, nothing's going to work perfect all the time. I don't care what kind of technology you have. There's going to be that certain percentage that it's going to screw up. But it's a great idea. Tell Jay I'm all for it, using drones for that, because one, the officer is safe. Two, you don't have to use lethal force if you can fly it, maneuver it. And you got to remember, some of these bad guys, they're gonna shoot at this drone and it might hit it. Then what do you do? Kind of a deal.
Here's
but
the thing.
It's still a great idea.
Here's the thing. A few years ago, I would say about 6 years ago, I was part of something, and I was able to see something that the public could not see. Commander Cobra gave me access to see what they were doing, and I can't really get into details, but he was flying a plane, and they were using surveillance that could penetrate and see everything through the walls.
Sure.
Okay? So if you identify the perp inside, you cannot tell me that once they put a tag on that person, they GPS his ass with a drone, and the drone knows exactly who to go to. Obviously, this would have to be tested. There's going to be issues, but there's also incidents. How many standoffs when they're in an apartment and they've got a person that's mentally unstable with a butcher knife or something, and they're trying to negotiate. Well, instead of waiting for shit to happen where there could be a fatality in that situation, well, again, the drone could be very useful to just take the person down and tranquilize their ass or subdue them, so they can be detained. Do you know what I mean? There are definitely situations, environments that this could be used.
Do you know how many times a drone would have helped me so much in my investigation?
Yeah, sleeping gas, lady says, fee.
Yeah, I mean, I'm all for anything that's not, that we can use non-lethal before we get to that point. Because once that bullet is fired, you can't take it back.
Hold on, Chris.
See what I'm saying? Taser you can take back. Tear gas. Pepper spray, sleeping gas, whatever. I mean, you may wake up with a headache. You may not feel like garbage, but you're still alive.
That's the point. That's the point. You're still alive.
It's a great point. But the problem is, I don't think well, first of all, the problem is that the military does not want to give up their technology to the public. So we have this problem where we've got some great technology that's in projects with the military, but they're saying, sorry, you ain't going to have it. So what do you do then when you have that type of stuff going on to where you can't get the technology that's needed?
I bet you that in a town like where I live in or where you live, they would be more than happy to have this technology. I think it has more to do with the politicians in the big cities that would not want something like this, because it really comes down to politics. There is a lot of military grade equipment that law enforcement does have. You know, they and there was a big ruckus over that. Why do they need military grade? Well, in the event of a riot, it would be nice if the police officers were, you know, they were properly geared up with whatever vehicles they need. You know what I mean? You gotta have that.
Hey, you know,
I mean,
I can't tell you how many times, Bill, I have had encounters where I did not know what I was walking into, and I was so outgunned, outmanned, because you just don't know. You walk into the unknown.
Armor
when you walk
piercing
into
bullets,
the unknown, you gotta
armor
have something
vest,
ready.
Chris. The bullets that these fuckers use, they can
Kevlar.
pierce your body armor. I mean, come on. You know,
Yeah.
like you said, you walk into a situation, you don't know what the hell's going to end up happening.
Bill, you can have all the gun control in the world, and if a criminal wants a gun, they're going to have a gun. You're not going to. You know this as well as I do, Bill, because you know the real world is that if a criminal wants a gun, they're going to get a gun. So you say, all right, we're going to ban all guns. Do you think the Bloods, the Crips, the Latin
Exactly.
Kings, all these things, do you think these drug dealers are going to say, all right, guys, we can't carry guns anymore? They said that we might get in trouble. They're dealing narcotics on a multi-million-dollar basis. Do you think they really give a damn?
Chris, I don't know if you know this stat, and I would love to know it. Let's take away the suicide from gun use, because that's very high, especially amongst veterans.
Yeah.
Let's take away accidental shootings, you know, like gun goes off, you know, whatever. I want to know the number of the amount of homicides per year that is done by a perpetrator with an illegal gun. Because it seems like
you know what? I'll find out for you.
Please find out, because the news is always focused on, and God forgive me for those that lose their lives in a situation like this. I'm not trying to diminish the heinous crime that it is when it happens at these mass shootings. But, okay, it happens. But every day across this country, people are getting killed every day with fuckers with illegal guns. Instead of trying to make this about politics and targeting gun owners, you should be thinking about all these people out there, these gang members that have illegal guns. So what are you doing about that? And all the people, I want to know that number, Chris. I want to know that number.
I will try to find out for you, but I will tell you this. I know this because one of my sergeants and my co-host on the I Detective show teaches active shooter response. He teaches it. Matter of fact, he's in Albany teaching SWAT teams right now how to react to, active shooter responses, what to do when you get stuff like Tennessee and everything else. He's an expert at it. And that's Buck Savage.
Mm-hmm.
But I will tell you, there are inventions, there are things that schools can do to absolutely stop, prevent, or limit a person's access. They're not just, they need to spend the money on this. I have seen walls come out of the walls that are absolutely bulletproof, that a teacher can just slide out right across the door, kids are safe. Yeah. I have seen, technology that you can do almost instantaneously that will lock down every door in the school.
That's what I was just going to say about locking down the doors.
Right.
And having doors, reinforced doors, that the perpetrator can't even break with a fucking axe.
Sure.
Do you know what I mean? It's impenetrable. They're not getting in that classroom. And if it's going to cost, it costs. But I'm going to give you an example. When I was in high school, we didn't have these issues. We didn't have to, I don't ever recall anyone bringing a freaking gun to school, okay?
Not even a knife.
Not even a knife.
You got caught with a knife at school, you were gone for the rest of the year.
I don't ever recall any of that. But I do remember going into the city past my old high school, and they have a lot of police cars sitting in front. Like in the event something goes down, they're right there. But that's a high school of 2,000 students, and it is in the Bronx. So I'm not surprised.
But you know what, Bill? You know what you can do? You have the greatest resource to protect schools and public buildings and everything, and they don't use it. You have all these retired cops with 20, 25 years of experience. You have all these Navy SEALs that retire, all these Army Green Beret guys.
Security? Private security?
Absolutely. The schools should be taking these guys and putting them on the outside, not the inside. Let the school resource officer and the teachers deal with the outside.
But they're nearby.
What's that?
They're nearby. They're close enough to respond.
They're right outside the school.
Exactly.
They're walking the perimeter of the school.
Exactly.
They're outside at the gates. I mean, everybody says that every target can be penetrated, and in some respects they're true. However, in these type of situations, with these type of people, the people who are doing these heinous crimes are not ultra experienced people. They would not stand a chance against experienced cops who have done SWAT, 25 years of SWAT, 25 years of police work, Navy SEALs, Army Green. There's guys who want to do it for free.
Yeah.
They just want to protect their own children while they're there.
I'm going to read to you some of the comments that came in.
Read me the bad ones, too, so I can answer those, too.
I don't think there is any. So I'm just going to read, because this is based on the conversation we've had in the last few minutes. Michael said, or a drone with a flashing light or some kind of a light to confuse the suspects. How long until cars can just be turned off remotely, EMP it? I mean, they can take it out if they really want to. I'm sure, that they have that type of technology now. Is it available everywhere? No. And then Maria said because they have to match the assholes they're up against as far as like gearing up and having the proper equipment. SWAT gear helps, but they don't have that available for all situations.
Correct.
Suicide by cop is a huge law enforcement issue that law enforcement officers face.
And one of people I interviewed, his wife, who's also a police officer. He's sitting in jail because somebody wanted suicide by cop.
Wow.
And the body camera shows that he was completely innocent, but because we hate cops in this particular area, he got convicted of murder.
Wow.
And the guy had a gun to his head. And he's saying, and he told the neighbor, I'm going to kill a cop. I'm going to ambush him, thinking I'm going to be suicidal.
Wow.
I'm going to leave the door open. They're going to walk in, and when I get them at the right time, I'm going to shoot them.
I'm going to turn it on them.
He tells the neighbor. So he calls the cops. He says, I'm not feeling well. I got a gun. I'm going to shoot myself. The cops respond. The door is open. They don't know if he's in or out. They go in. There's the guy sitting on the couch with a gun to his head. And so they put the gun down, put the gun down, put the gun down. For God's sakes, nobody wants to hurt you. Put the gun down. Guy goes like this, and he goes like this. As soon as he goes like this, he gets shot.
And
Perfectly
the officer was
shooting.
charged for murder for that?
The police officer was charged for murder.
Is that a case that's still pending, or is that he's been convicted?
He's still sitting in jail. He just got an appeal.
Wow. That's bullshit right there.
The cop's name is Ben Darby. His wife's name is Colleen Darby. She's a sergeant with a different
horrific.
Department. Yeah, but that's what guys are facing every single day. They're like, I mean, I'm willing to put my life on the line, but I don't want to go to jail after I put my life on the line for you.
All right, so here's a few more. If the staff had a carrier on each floor, no more problems. Pretty much if they had security in the schools. And that's true. They should have someone on each floor that is qualified to carry a weapon. Even the school safety officer. It doesn't matter. I mean, somebody should be there that's qualified to carry a firearm. At least, like she said, on the floor of a school. So that they're right there on the floor. But I also liked your idea about, and they should, I don't know why this is no-brainer, that all the doors should have an automatic lockdown.
Yeah.
And have it
there's
full
no way you should be able to penetrate
access
a school.
A classroom. Especially a classroom. Because that's where most of it happens, in a fucking classroom.
There's no way that you should be able to penetrate. They have Kevlar blankets that you can put right over the door that a person cannot shoot through.
Yep.
It might go through the door, but it'll hit the Kevlar blanket and it won't go any farther. Locking the door down securely with a steel door, whatever, you put Kevlar in between the two pieces of steel. They can't get it. They can't penetrate the classroom.
You could do it in a prison, but you can't do it in a school. You can't have this kind of a thing like this technology.
What about a fence? What about a fence, a high fence? You don't have to make a barbed wire. Just put up a high fence.
Can you imagine now? I could just hear it. You know there'll be arguments over it. You're going to lock my kid in a classroom. You have the capacity to lock my child in a classroom. What if it doesn't work and they can't get out? I could just hear the bullshit associated with by some people to try to counter the narrative of the importance of having that. But I think even now, maybe some that are so concerned about school safety and what's going on, I think they would agree to having automatic lockdown on all the doors in the schools. What do you think?
Yeah, absolutely.
I
Why
would think,
not?
right?
I don't understand
bet you
why
they
we
don't.
don't have it already.
They'll find an answer.
I expect to go, when I go to a school, I expect an outer gate and a buzzer, and they'll say with a television camera, saying, "What can I help you with? I'm here to pick up my sick child. My name is so and so, so. Stand by. We'll confirm it."
But they'll say you're making our schools like prisons.
I want my children safe.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. But I'm sure
having a great time. I could care. They don't care what's going on outside.
But I'm telling you, all these people that are protesting now, and what's going on with all the shootings, and I get it. It's horrible when it happens. It's sad. But listen, if you came up with a plan about locking all the doors down in a classroom, I'd like to see these same people that are protesting now, what their opinions would be. Or are they going to flip it and say, oh, well, we don't want that. We don't want our schools like prisons. Then what the hell you want us to do?
Yeah,
you know what I mean? I guarantee it, Chris, there'll be some out there doing that. Even though it's the logical, rational, I think, one of the best solutions for safety, I bet you there'll be some out there to go against it. There always are. They just are out there, Chris.
Yeah.
It's sad. It's sad. But it's definitely a great thing to do, I think. I think that's a no-brainer.
A lot of people are against it until it happens with their child.
That is a great point.
A different, just like a lot of
or their family
politicians, we got to get rid of the prisons. We got to get this until their house gets broken into, their kids get stabbed, or something happens.
So true.
Just
so
like,
true.
Look what happened down in San Francisco. I think it was San Francisco, where that high-tech guy was stabbed to death. Right? Now, there's people being stabbed to death in California every day, and nobody gives a damn. But because this guy is a popular person, he's one of the in crowd or whatever, holy hell was breaking loose. You better find this murderer. You better get this. Well, what about the other 20 cases that are sitting on my desk?
Yep. Here comes more comments, and then we're going to flip to the other thing, and I'll let you go. V said, we took pocket knives. I remember having a Swiss Army knife. Yes, I had one in school. It was a Swiss Army knife. Give me a break. But you know what? Do you know that it was found in a locker, and the dean called me? Why do you have this, bringing this to school?
Yeah.
And I didn't get in trouble, but she said, if this happens again, you're getting suspended.
I'm all for locker checks.
Oh, they do. They used to do it a lot when I was in school, just to see. Cause
me too.
They were looking more also for narcotics, for weed and all that. They were, because they would have it in there. The bongs or anyway, getting off that. So Maria says, Maria Wilson, Maria in chat.
Great girl.
We used to have our guns in our vehicles when I went to high school.
Yeah, that's the amazing thing. Bill, how many trucks had gun racks in the back of their car?
Yep.
Right? And they drove to school and nobody got shot.
Yep.
I remember guys pulling up, and they never obviously they never took it out, but they used to have gun racks in the back of their car.
All the time. You see pickup trucks all the time.
Right, all the time.
Here's another one.
So society, it's not the gun that's done it. Society has changed.
Yes.
Where they're using the gun different than what they did before.
And times have changed. I mean, for the worse to me, because when we were young, when I was young, I mean, things were so different. Period, across the board.
Oh my God, yes.
But okay, so reinforce double doors to get in live cameras to the responders. That's what Charles said. So reinforce double doors to get in live cameras to the responders.
Sure.
The schools this is Maria again. The Marias here have the sheriff department at the schools every day, and this is a small county. So some of the things we were talking about, having a presence, a police a presence, or a security officer who's got a background in law enforcement, trained to be able to go around the perimeter of the school. Outside, they could even put a little small booth outside the freaking school.
Sure.
They have it in Times Square, for Christ's sake. They have a little police station, like little thing there. They could do it in front of schools, too.
Bill, they have so many ways to harden these targets. And I've discussed this with experts and everything. The question is, can you get them to do it?
I know.
You know, can a school council say, this is not going to happen in our school. We are going to put up a fence. You got to get in by a remote. When school starts and school ends, there's going to be armed people at the gate, so nobody that with a gun comes in and out. And then, but during classroom time, the gate is secure. It's locked. You can only get in unless we buzz you in. If you try to tamper with the gate, if you try to force your way in, we lock everything down. The police are called. Security comes out, and
engages.
People will figure out and say, it's not a good idea to go there.
No, exactly, to deter it in itself.
Yeah.
Now
it's just like the burglar, Bill. What's the burglar do? He looks for the easiest target. If you got ring cameras, security stuff, if you got a barking dog, you got all these things. The burglar goes, I'm not going there. I'm sure to get caught. I'm going to go to the place that has nothing.
And as far as a budget is concerned, because everybody can say, well, where's the money come from? Well, the same way the federal government seems to spend money like it's made out of fucking paper, just throwing it around for Ukraine and all these other things in the billions. You're telling me that you can't throw money in the budget for the schools in this country for safety? That's one. And I would like to see how a certain party responds to that one, because they're so pro safety and all this. Well, let's see you step up now. Secondly, make it part of infrastructure bill to redo the schools.
What a beautiful idea, Bill.
I mean, if you want to talk, that's part of infrastructure. Idea. It's part of infrastructure.
I'd rather see that part of that trillions of dollars they're spending to protect the schools than it is for what somebody said that they were studying shrimp on a treadmill.
Exactly.
They were spending.
What the? So there's way to get the money and put it to use in this way. V says, one thing I wish they did better with protecting schools is the neighborhood around the school zone. With a certain mile radius, shouldn't there be a psyche valve? Do you know something? They do that here in New York, right in my area. They check the whole area around the school. They keep track of, especially sex offenders. Forget it. They're not allowed to live within a certain distance from a school.
Right, that's part of their release program. But I mean, it's really tough to tell a person you can't live within a mile, other than a sex offender, that you can't live within a mile of a school because we think you're, mentally unfit.
Right. That's a dicey one to get by.
That's a real dicey one. But if you harden the schools, they're not going to get in anyways.
So Kevin says, what about less army weapons? Now, I'll say I'm on the fence with you. You know how I feel about this. Military grade weapons in civilian hands.
So what do you consider an army weapon?
A what?
What do you consider an army weapon?
Well, anything that was used for military use.
Okay, but what do you consider?
Like a fucking.
What is your definition of an army weapon?
Well, wasn't the AK used in the army?
Okay.
You think that?
Do you think an M16?
Here's where the line is. Where do we draw the line on what we consider to be something that shouldn't be on the streets?
I want to show you this. I won't say stupidity. That's the wrong word. I want to show you how We do not do things right. So you take an M4. They consider that what they call an assault weapon, right?
Go ahead.
Still
I'm
there?
listening. Yeah, I'm listening.
Okay.
I'm sitting at the edge of my seat listening to every word you say, literally.
Okay. So you take what they call an M4. It has a pistol grip. It has a detachable magazine, and it's a semi-automatic rifle. It's not fully automatic.
Right.
Because I do not believe that civilians should have fully automatic
That makes
weapons.
sense.
Okay. So now you have this M4. Now the caliber of bullet it shoots is what they call 5.56, 223 round. Okay? That is deemed lawfully an assault weapon. Now, you got a Ruger Mini 14 that shoots, does not have the pistol grip, has a regular stock. All right, has a detachable magazine, and it shoots the same caliber round, and that is not considered
an assault.
So the only difference between the two is that one has a pistol grip, and the other one has a regular rifle grip.
Okay, let me ask you this question.
The same round, the same speed, the same everything.
Should it be
it's
then?
Not the gun.
So should it be based on the magazine? How much it can hold?
Detachable magazine. It has a detachable magazine, just like.
But that's what I'm saying. Maybe they should just make a certain limit on a magazine for civilian use.
They do.
So then
we have the laws in place.
You know what I mean? So then, what's the issue?
Right.
If a person wants to take out people, they'll use whatever means necessary.
Yeah.
You know,
know what stops? And your listeners and I absolutely want you to challenge me on this. But the truth of the matter is, after all the things I've seen, after all the things I've investigated, I can tell you this. Civilians should not have automatic weapons. You don't need a fully automatic weapon.
There you go.
And I agree with that.
I am with you on that one. I
right.
just jumped off the fence to your side on that one for sure.
But the semi-automatic weapons, the way it's structured, is it doesn't make sense, because we're saying that this one is an assault weapon, this one's not.
Right.
This one's okay, and this one's not. Well, wait a minute. They're basically the same thing, except for a pistol grip. Give me a break. I could shoot as many rounds with this, just as fast as this one, and it's the same caliber round. So it doesn't make sense. But here's what I will tell you, and I was told this by a very, very smart man. He says, Chris, it's never going to be about the gun. It's going to be about the person. We need to do something about people with mental health problems. We have them all out on the street, and when they get to the point that they have no recourse, they want their 15 minutes of fame. So they're going to get a gun, whether you make every law in the world, they're going to buy an illegal gun. And when they buy an illegal gun, they're going to use it to get their 15 minutes of fame.
No, if they want a gun, they'll get it somehow. Here's all the comments, because there's a bunch, Chris. There's a bunch.
Okay, I'm ready.
If you can if you can automatically lock it, you can automatically unlock it. And V says, I think there should be it should be initiated by safety officer. They clear the area, make sure everyone is where they should be, and then hit the red button. And that's in the instance of a school.
Yeah,
and
sure.
Then
there should be an automatic lockdown, just like you said, Bill.
Then Kevin says there is only one safety solution staring you right in the face. And weapons that project projectiles. I don't know what he means. He's making a joke, I guess.
He's talking about like what we talked about before, burner guns.
Yeah, well,
rubber bullets and things of that nature. Doesn't always work. I've seen rubber bullets bounce off of people. I've seen tasers not work on people.
So
I've seen tear gas not work.
On with me right now is Chris DePerno. He's a retired detective. Was also in the Marines. He's got an extensive background in law enforcement in many areas. He served as officer for 25 years, retired. He does a show, I Detective, that airs on KGRA Wednesdays, 6 to 7 p.m. Eastern Time. And we're just discussing numerous topics based on law enforcement and what they go through and everything else. Also, let's see. There are many solutions, but getting rid of all guns is just an excuse to never look at the 1,000 other solutions. That is true.
That is true.
That leaves the nation's defenses to the government if they ban weapons from the public. We're not talking about banning weapons from the public. That is absolutely not what we're talking about. Automatic weapons, assault weapons. I mean, really? What use is that for? What purpose does that have?
I'm the first to tell you that I don't see why machine guns should be public stuff. I
mean,
don't see
unless there's
any...
a zombie apocalypse or some kind of crazy invasion.
Well, first of all, unless you're highly trained with a machine gun, you're gonna suck at it.
Wait a minute, though. Wait. What if there's a compromise here? What about people that want to have an assault weapon, have to go through a training with the weapon?
Sure.
And and definitely maybe extensive background checks, like another tier of a background, so they can have that assault weapon. Would that be something that people be willing to compromise on?
Well, first of all,
I'm just asking. I don't know if they would, because they say, look, if I want to buy a gun, I want to buy a gun. I don't want to have to go through extra protocols just to own this one gun. I'm just playing that.
Here's what I believe. The Second Amendment says you have the right to own
bear
a gun,
arms,
unless you're you fall into certain categories.
Right.
But everybody has a right. But here's what I believe. If you're going to be responsible enough to buy a gun, you better be responsible enough to be trained. And I firmly believe that if you get a gun, it's got to be mandatory training when you purchase that gun. You have to go through some kind of safety class, shooting class, to be responsible with that firearm. Because I can't tell you how many people don't know. They buy a gun and they go, Chris, how do I use this thing? And I go, why didn't you come to me beforehand? They go out and they buy something that Dirty Harry used to carry. That, I mean, I get phone calls all the time from people go, Chris, I got my pistol permit and I bought this. Look at this gun. I go, what are you going to do with that? What are you going to do? Oh, it's for protection. I go, where? I mean, are you going to war somewhere?
All right. But still, if people want to have the right to purchase guns, they have the right to purchase guns. I mean,
sure. But they better know how to use them.
But here's the thing. If you need to pass a driver's test to drive a car, like you said, with training, shouldn't you have to go through some kind of firearm test to make sure that you can handle that weapon?
Yes.
To be finalized
absolutely.
and licensed to do that? I'm just saying, I'm playing devil's advocate right now. I'm just throwing out different things. But
Bill, I'm an old fart. I'm past my prime. But I, of course, with being a police officer, I have a federal license to carry a gun anywhere in the United States, except New York City. Go figure.
Of course.
It's the only place you can't
so
carry
true.
it. But I fall under HR 218. As long as I qualify every year, I'm allowed to carry a gun anywhere in the United States.
So you do have to go once a year.
But I take it a step further. I qualify at least twice a month. I go and I shoot and I qualify at least, because God forbid that day should ever come. I want to make sure that I know exactly what I'm doing, or I don't want to be in that situation.
I hear you.
If I don't know exactly what I'm doing,
Top of your game.
I need to get away from that situation.
Yeah, no, that makes total sense. Let me keep reading, because there's a bunch, and I want to still get onto that other topic.
Holy cow, how many people you got on this channel?
Well, I guess this is, and I love it, because everybody's opinion matters.
Sure.
Because that's what makes a great discussion. And, whether you agree or disagree, it's all part of having a constructive conversation.
All part of the plan, my friend.
Let's see. I'm trying to scroll. Hold on. I'm just trying to scroll because there's a lot here. I'm just gonna read it down the line, Chris, because there's a lot here. Tranquilizer guns. The stat with tranquilizers to put intruder to sleep. We were talking about that earlier, Jay, about using tranquilizer. Then Kevin says police state is the safest option. You have to have law and order. You must have law. Without that, there's chaos. And it says lady says no organization is pure, and we can't make it pure. There's always going to be areas of gray in anything. There's no such thing as 100%. There's no such thing.
You know, Bill, you're going to... People... See, the problem is police work is like the devil in some ways. And let me explain before people go nuts. I'm very pro-police. But when you have police, you're saying society has problems. Because you need somebody to enforce the laws. Because if everybody was good, we wouldn't need police. We wouldn't need to have somebody enforce the law. Everybody obeys it. But we don't live in that type of society. We have criminals. And we have people who do things wrong. And so we need a certain group of people, police, to go out and protect us, to enforce the laws. But they can't always be there. And so now we have this feeling that we must defund the police or restructure the police or do something with the police where they're not so paramilitary. It won't work.
But
and I'll tell you.
I agree. Keep going. But I was going to say on the flip side, people also have the right under the Second Amendment to protect themselves.
Sure.
Because the police aren't around to protect them all. You know what I mean? So that's a very important thing that we have the capability of protecting ourselves in our homes and our families and our livelihoods. But go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
But one of the things that they want to do is they want to bring social workers to deal with these mentally could be violent, hostile situations.
To try to talk them down like a negotiator, I guess.
Right. It doesn't work. And I'll tell you, I know from experience because my partner was stabbed to death by a mentally disturbed person. He was trying, and he was a police detective. He was standing at the door to a bathroom talking to this person, trying to get them to come out, negotiate, and everything else. It's the right thing to do, smart thing to do. She opens up the door, stabs him in the neck. He dies instantly, cuts the carotid artery. He was dead before he hit the floor. Oh my God! And stuff. This is one of the guys I worked with day in and day out. God. And I wish I was there. That one night I was off, and that haunts me, because if I was there, I would have told Mike, get the hell away from the door, because we don't know. But he was trying to be a good guy. But think about untrained social workers trying to do that. See, we like to think that people won't hurt us. That's wrong, because I've seen the evil side of people where they go out at night, they need drugs, they need the money, they need stuff. They will rob, steal, rape,
do anything,
murder.
Yeah, that's sad. But let's keep going. There's a lot.
Yeah.
There's a lot. There's like a gray, like the mental issues with family past, all that they were talking about. And like we mentioned, see, this is what Kevin just said, and we brought this up earlier. Making school like prison is definitely the answer. Now, he might be saying that sarcastically, but we were talking about...
Yeah, but you don't have to make up a prison, but you can make it hard. You know what I mean? You can make it so difficult that a person... I mean, you don't have to have barbed wire on the top of a fence.
No, but lockdown of all the doors...
high.
A lockdown on all the doors in an emergency situation is a no-brainer to me.
It is a no-brainer. Bill, that's absolutely right. That's a no-brainer.
I mean, to put the classrooms in safety lock mode, so no perpetrator or anybody that's in the school, for whatever reasons, they're not supposed to be in there, protect the kids. You want to protect the kids, that's the way to do it. Have a lockdown.
Kids got to come first.
That's right.
Not the scenery, the kids.
Let's see. There are civilian weapons that look safe, that shoot the very same bullet just as fast. Under the right circumstances, anything is a deadly weapon. That is true. You can switch a mag in a second. Yes, you can. I mean, they usually carry extra mags with them
Mm-hmm.
but again, it's about the purpose of the person with the weapon. They could have other handguns ready to go. I mean, they could if they're going in there all blazing, they're gonna have everything they need ready to do whatever intention, horrible, heinous crime they're gonna do, because that's their mission. Let's see. You can't convince a gun culture to give up its guns. We're not saying for people to give up their guns. But that's under our constitutional right. So, they said that you're stirring them up. V says you're stirring us up, Chris.
I think it's good. I think it's good to have a healthy debate. I think it's good to
It is. This is
to
what
argue with me about stuff in a reasonable manner. I mean, I want to be reasonable to your viewers
and they're
stuff.
valid points. They're making valid points.
I'm going to tell you a little simple saying to your viewers, and it was told to me by a very wise person, and it really stuck. And he goes, Cain took a rock to kill his brother Abel. David took a rock to kill Goliath. And I go, yeah, you're right. He says, Chris, it's not about the rock. It's about the person.
All right, let's keep going because I want to.
Does that make any sense?
No, it does. I mean, it's all about the intent. Once you get that hammer, okay, nobody buys a hammer to put it in a drawer to never hit a nail. Well, that's a great point. I mean, if you're carrying a weapon, I mean, are you going to have it and then not use it in a situation? Like, that's why training is important, like Chris mentioned.
Training is very important.
Because in a situation, it happens so fast. Things happen so fast. And, you might be put in a really bad situation if you don't know how to use that weapon and have it and not use it for the purpose that you originally thought you were using it for, to protect. And then that again, this is situational and there should be training involved. That's my comment on that without getting too deep into it. Once you get that hammer, everything looks like a nail. Well, I don't use my hammer. I don't use my hammer for everything. You know what? There's times I can't even find my hammer in this house when I need it. And that's a true story because I could bring my mom in here. Mom, where's the hammer? I don't know. Where is it? It's a true story. I needed it the other day and I couldn't find it. We have 3 hammers.
I think
I can't find fucking one.
Just to respond to that person, I think the person who has the hammer has to be responsible with the hammer and knows how to use the hammer and know when and when not to use the hammer. And that's all part of training.
But it is a deadly weapon if you intend to use it as a deadly weapon. It can be.
Yeah, anything
can.
Weapon.
That's the point. Anything can.
Yeah.
Let's see what else. Let me go back up because there's a lot in here. Let me just read it. This Jay says, I always wanted to write hammer time on a stop sign. Like to get rid of the stop sign. They need a special license renewal annually too. That includes the psych check. Okay. And then he said so it's read stop hammer time. Let's see. I'm just giving a skim. And imagine, Lorraine says, imagine an intruder entering a swelling with medieval weapons and an Iron Maiden. Oh my God. And then V says, but it's the devil when those rules that can be monitored for enforcement. Sensitivity training could, I don't know, bring down the brutality. And by the way, Lorraine says, sorry about your partner, Chris, about what you were talking about earlier.
About Mike. Thank you, Lorraine. I there isn't a day that goes by that I don't think of Mike.
Hey, Chris,
and stuff.
What do you think of a samurai sword as a home defense?
Against a gun? You never bring a gun to a knife fight. Or a knife to
he was kidding when he said that, but I mean, really, you got to have something. I mean,
listen. But
I have the burner. You know that I got the burner.
Bring a knife to a gunfight. You know, if somebody's breaking into your house and he's got a gun, and you don't have a gun and you got a knife, just give him what he wants. That's not the time to try to be a hero. Give him what he wants. call the police and stuff. You're better off calling the insurance company the next day than you are trying to take a guy on with a knife to a gunfight. No, don't work.
Lady's joking around and says she hides her hammer behind her back. All right, so Kathy's here as well. The comments are pretty much done, but Chris, you know how I feel about this because you know how involved I am with this whole law enforcement thing. People don't realize like how really serious I am behind the scenes and trying to help promote and assist and do everything I can. Even for the locals here, they know that too. And wise words, Chris Charles just said. What you said earlier. We've been talking so much. So now, don't forget, iDetective airs. And before we get into the next subject, on Wednesdays, they just had their show on. You could see it on Rumble. Go to KGRA, look up KGRA on Rumble, and you'll be able to see tonight's show right there. And it was excellent. So
I tell you, we're going to have some great shows coming on. We got a New York State Assemblyman going to blow the whistle on Albany.
You told me
coming on in May. We've got the Oklahoma bombing coming up next week. We've got unbelievable stuff that will blow your mind on pulling out the corruption that's going on in the United States.
Well, this is off topic completely, but if you see me going like this once in a while, I'm into hockey. The Yankees suck right now, so I'm not even going to talk about them. But the Knicks, and I haven't watched basketball in like 25 years, but they just made it to the next round of the playoffs. That's why.
Oh, wow. Good for them.
Yeah, it's good for them. You know, I'm just saying I haven't watched in 25 years since Patrick Ewing and those days. But it's good to see them win. That's all I'll say.
Here in Buffalo, New York, if you're not a Buffalo Bills fan or a Buffalo Sabres fan, you're not allowed in the county.
I'm sure
That's
you don't
the
put
first thing they told me when I moved to Buffalo, New York.
But wait a minute. Are you a closet Giants fan and you can't hang any of your stuff up? Because if they do, anybody comes over.
I'm not saying it on the air.
Oh, my God. I hear you. I
take that. Aaron Rodgers is going to the Jets?
Yeah, he was there this morning.
Yeah, we don't talk about that here in Buffalo.
Yeah, well, I don't talk about it as a Giants fan.
And stuff.
So it doesn't matter.
So, I mean, these people love their sports teams up here in Buffalo.
And to
be part of the Bills Mafia, you got to jump off the top of a motorhome and smash a table.
Oh my God! Is that for real? Is that like real?
Yeah, that's real. It's a chiropractor's dream up here.
Oh my God!
So I mean, but the Bills Mafia, I mean, there's two things up on the outside of Buffalo, New York: American flags and Buffalo Bills flags, and you better have one of them in your yard. I'm telling you, where I live, it's all Buffalo Bills, or Buffalo Sabres. Man, I'm telling you, even the old men play hockey up here, like huge leagues. You know, if their bones would take it, they'd be out on the football field thinking they were Josh Allen and all these other guys.
Prowse, like, go Bills. He lives, I think, near Toronto, I think. Anyway, now we're going to flip over to the other side.
Sure.
So Chris DiPerno is going to be part of a panel on Saturday, along with Jim Mann, host of Dark Window, John Yost, who made the film Alien Abduction Answers, and his hypnotherapist is also going to be on the panel. So there's going to be a live Q&A. They're still working out exactly how that Q&A is going to happen, whether it's through a chat or a feature or some other means. I cannot discuss that right now because they're still finalizing that. But they're going to show the movie on KGRA.db.com. It's a pay-per-view event. And they're going to show the entire movie, followed by all of them part of the panel talking about the film. And I know Chris is the perfect person to be on the panel because Chris is objective. He's going to challenge something that he may not agree with. And that's what you want. You want somebody to ask the tough questions about anything that occurs in the film, or complement some of the things, of course, that were in the film. But at least I know that Chris will do an amazing job on the panel, along with Jim Mann. And it's hosted by Renee Barnett. So I am going to now share the trailer of what they're going to be doing right now. So, Chris, I'm sliding you off the screen a second.
Yep.
And we're going to put the audio on. And let's do it now.
Hundreds of thousands of people have claimed contact. If you're met face to face with something so alien, that will change you. It changed me.
Strange things would happen. This was something that I kept buried for years.
On Saturday, April 29th, KGRA Digital Broadcasting and Virgil Films have partnered to bring you an event that could open your mind to new possibilities. Watch John Yost recount his story in his documentary Alien Abduction Answers. After the movie, participate in a live interactive panel where you can ask your questions in real time. You don't want to miss this event. Go to kgradb.com to claim your spot.
There you go. So that is
Wow.
Saturday with this gentleman that's on the screen. He's going to be part of that panel. So once there's going to be 2 clickable links, I believe. Don't quote me on this. One for the movie when you pay for the pay-per-view. Then once the movie's over, then you're going to click the other link that takes you to the panel discussion. I believe that's how it's going to happen. I can get final confirmation by Friday, and I'll do a stream here. And Chris is going to be a regular guest with me here weekly to discuss iDetective and the things that are going on in law enforcement. Also, MUFON. He's part of MUFON What's Up. He is the state director for MUFON in New York. So, and he's done, and you know what I lost, Chris? I was looking for the other day because the hard drive died. Remember all those interviews you did and I put them on my computer?
Yeah, wow. I can't find them, Mike, because my computer crashed. Send them to me. I'd love to
I don't
them.
have them. My shit crashed. I lost that hard drive. I don't have any of those interviews. I was hoping you'd had them.
No, my computer crashed.
God. Oh, my God.
My external hard drive crashed. I actually am now talking to you on my brand new computer that took a whole day yesterday to get set up. I had computer parts.
Wait a minute. Where's that hard drive? Do you have it?
No, it's corrupt.
There's
They
no way
tried
to
working
access
on
it?
it
They
yesterday.
tried? No?
The external hard drive where I thought I'd keep all this great information that, I say, God forbid my computer crash. Well, my computer crashed.
What about that
and the
flash
hard
drive? Do you have that flash drive that you brought it here with?
I'll have to check. I'll have to see.
You remember you brought it here from a flash drive, didn't you?
Yeah, but I
Oh
thinking
my
that-
God, those were such good interviews.
I know they were great interviews, but the problem is I never thought that my external hard drive and my computer would crash at the same time. I never even heard of an external hard drive crashing
Oh
before,
shit.
but it did.
Wait a minute. I might have it. No, I don't know. I have to look on my other computer, the old one that I used to use before I built this one. Might be on the other one. It might be.
Well,
I have to
if
check.
you do have it, let me know.
Yeah,
because
I'll
sure
send
like
it to
to
you.
have them back and analyze them.
So, Chris will be on. Also, I don't want to forget about the other shows on Wednesday, like Search Warrant.
Search Warrant, what a great show!
And we'll get Snedden to join us too on this
Yeah.
at some point.
I got to tell you, let me just give a quick plug to two great police shows. One is Search Warrant with John Snedden, the real Mark Harmon, the NCIS. He's a retired NCIS Special Agent of the Year, original plank walker of the Cold Case Squad. This guy, he's been there, done it, the whole thing. He's done amazing work, and now he's got this podcast with a homicide detective out of Philadelphia, Jake Jacobs. He's got an investigative reporter, Ralph Cipriano, and a Canadian captain that is with, I think, some police department in Canada.
With the railroad.
The railroad, and he lives down here. Well, these guys go after the bad politicians like there's no tomorrow. And I watched a video of Ralph Cipriano go after Larry Krasner with Larry Krasner, I thought he was going to have a stroke. He just started screaming at Ralph.
He did. I'm the one who edited those videos for them, so
Did
I
you?
know. Yeah.
So you know what I'm talking about.
I know
And
exactly
just
what you're talking
stormed
about.
off stage. And that's what a good reporter can do, is ask the tough questions. He was very polite. He wasn't derogatory. He was very polite, asked the tough questions. And I will tell you that anytime that nobody wants to face the truth, that's how they act, is they do want to jump up and down and scream and leave and get the hell out of there. So kudos to you, Ralph. You did a great job on that interview. But Search Warrant is an awesome show. And also this new show, Coffee with the Chief, that I think you're involved in, right, Bill?
Yep.
Coffee
Chief
with
Patrick
the Chief.
Jordan.
Now, that's with Patrick Jordan, who's an amazing, he was the L.A. County Chief. He was the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department Chief, just under the sheriff. And he is trained in hostage negotiation. He's trained in all kinds of stuff. He brings a lot of important information to the table. Besides, he's got a great wit. He's sharp as a tack.
Pop Culture Minefield has a lot of great shows that KGRA syndicates.
Yep.
We know that we have Gary doing the show with Don Ecker, UFO Wednesdays in the morning. And then they do Dangerous Military Nerds in the afternoon. And that's a veteran-based show, topics, and it's the entertainment value is there because they show movies, they discuss the different scenes that are going on in the movie. Because a lot of stuff you see in Hollywood that is made is not done right. If you talk to somebody that was like a military film and they're analyzing it, well, he's not holding the gun properly. Like, these are things that they analyze, they break it down to explain to people.
Right.
So, like John Wick, they were in, I believe, because that's one of my favorite movies. All of them. Because the last one was pretty good too. But they were talking about the training that Keanu, for example, went through by a person that was qualified to train him. Because a lot of things that go on these days, are they getting the proper training, the actors, to at least portray it to kind of look similar to simulation, that it's like a real thing in a movie, you know, like to try to make it like it looks real at least. So they was talking how Keanu, very impressive on he handles a weapon. And they showed the clips by the people that were training him and how good Keanu was.
Who's the trainer for Alec Baldwin?
That's exactly what I was going to bring up next. So who the hell?
Sly dog.
You know, that's why I set that up. But what happened with the Alec Baldwin situation? I mean, where was the training there? You didn't check the gun? I mean, isn't that something you're supposed to do, Chris? Is check the weapon? No matter if somebody hands it to you, aren't you supposed to check the gun?
Absolutely.
Especially an old revolver like that?
I will tell you
Come
that
on.
anytime you put a gun in your hand, the very, 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 very first thing you do is you check it to see if it's loaded or unloaded in a safe and proper manner.
How long does it take to train somebody to check a chamber in a revolver like that and explain to them what a live round and what another round, the differences are? I mean, how long would it take for somebody to tell Alec Baldwin, this is what you need to do, this is how the gun operates, this is the chamber, this is how you put a bullet in it? I mean, come on.
What, 10 minutes, if that?
That's what I'm saying. So that's serious.
First of all, that's a single shot, not single shot, but single action revolver.
Right, that's pulling back.
Right, you got to pull the hammer back.
Right.
So it won't fire unless you pull the hammer back. So how did the hammer get back?
Well, he did it. Obviously.
Well, if you're pulling the hammer back, that means you're going to fire the gun.
Exactly.
Right? Okay.
But you didn't check the gun before you fired it?
If
I'm an actor.
Who is the armorer? You can go all the way back and say, who for God's sakes, brought the real bullets to the set?
Yep. But
who was the armorer that loaded the gun?
They don't learn.
She didn't know the difference?
They don't learn after what happened to Brandon Lee, what accidents happened on the set. They don't learn. I mean, you would think like protocols are in place to prevent that from happening again, but no, it happens again. You know what I mean? This is bullshit. And that is involuntary manslaughter. It was an accident, but it's still involuntary manslaughter to me.
Right. There should never be any type of real bullet on a movie range. Why would you? You have all kinds of technical people that can make bullets seem like they're hitting the wood or metal or whatever. I mean, they can all do that. There's no reason why a real bullet should be on a bullet range. I don't care if expert movie maker was on. Oh, Chris, you're wrong. Baloney. There's no reason for a real, because what people don't realize, people get hurt after a bullet makes contact with something. He may not be shooting at that person, but if you hit a piece of metal, you hit something that's solid, and that bullet splinters, the velocity it goes, those pieces of splinter are going to hit people. I mean, I've stood down range away from, right, even behind a person shooting, and they were close enough to the targets. They hit the target just right. The bullet splinters, bounce back. I've had pieces of metal hit me and go, holy crap, what the hell was that?
Even, I'll give you an example. I don't know if Charles was here because he made a great point. All guns should be treated as they were loaded.
Yep.
At all times.
Right,
Never point
right.
the firearm at anything you are
Absolutely right.
willing to destroy. Now, I'll give you an example. I don't know if he was here. I have a few BB guns, CO2s. So when everybody was here for Pine Bush, from a bunch of friends, we were putting up like bottles and targets like to shoot.
Yeah.
Okay. But that was one of the things. Be careful with that. I don't care if it's just a BB gun. You don't point it at anybody. You check the chamber to see if it's loaded. You check the chamber, the magazine. You check inside the BB gun to see if it's loaded, and you have to have the safety on. But you have to take all the precautions anytime you hold any kind of weapon. I don't even care, like I said, if it's a BB gun. Because you could take somebody's eye out.
My father was blinded with a BB gun.
Huh?
My father was blinded in one eye.
That's what I just said. You could get shot in the eye with a BB gun.
Yeah.
I mean, so you must address every handheld thing like that, like Charles said, with absolute all the safety protocols. And even in a situation like that, you never point a weapon. I don't care if you think it's unloaded, whatever. You don't know if there's something in there, in the chamber. You just don't.
I agree, Charles.
So Charles, 100% agree. Anyway, Mr. DePrano, it's 10 p.m. Do you know where you're about to go? There was a commercial years ago. It's 10 p.m. Do you know where
10
your
p.m.
children
Do
are?
you know where your children are?
Remember
I gotta
that?
find out where my wife is. I'm sure she's probably away from somewhere.
Anyway, it's
And stuff.
always...
But it's always a pleasure being on
Yeah.
with you, folks. I will tell you, please subscribe, join his live show here, because it's always fun. I enjoy coming on here, and if you have any questions about tonight's discussion, send them to Bill. I'd be happy to answer them on a later date, and challenge me, debate me. I'm very willing to listen to any argument when it comes to people's safety.
Well, they're saying... Charles said, I'm not going to bed. He's just got to go find the wife. Are you kidding me? He's been on with me for how long now? I don't even know. Like an hour and a half at least? An hour and 35 minutes. I could see it on Skype. But Charles said, I think I got that from Elmer Keith, Chris.
Oh, okay.
Kathy says, thanks, Chris. Always good to see you.
Thank you, Kathy.
And does Chris have a YouTube link? Not currently. He's
No,
working
but
on
I
it.
do have an eye detective show on Rumble. Bill can tell you, we're on Rumble, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn.
I'm gonna be on.
You name it.
I'll share everything with them.
Look,
What?
Right.
if I didn't shut that thing off,
Another fire?
yeah.
Another one. Yeah. Anyway,
Good stuff.
we almost had another smoky event in the house. People just
God.
keep forgetting that they're cooking on the stoves, and then the house becomes full of smoke. This has happened now 3 times in the last 3 weeks.
Uh-oh.
So,
Well-
and I did it. I was the worst because I'm so busy here. I forget. I'm sitting on the computer working, and I
Bill,
forget.
I will tell you that KGRA is doing a phenomenal job bringing some great shows to the listeners. They're becoming very diversified. Like I said, they have the military nerds now. They have Morning with the Chief, Coffee with the Chief now. Search Warrant. I'll tell you, you got to see Search Warrant. Will blow your mind. Some
Mom,
of the things that are
they
coming
asked me,
out of
what does
that.
Mom think about the topic? Mom sleeps with, I gave it to her. I showed her how to use it. She has, just to make her feel a little comfortable, she has a loaded CO2 BB gun right by her bed.
Yeah, 90% of the time, all you got to do is scream and holler at the person,
I have my
saying,
burner.
"I'm awake. I'm calling the police," and they'll go. But it's that 10% that you got to be careful of.
I showed you the you. I gotta get the dude. I forgot. I gotta call John because he's the dealer. For this. The
Burner.
I gotta get the fucking rifle burner.
Yeah.
Have you seen
burner
it?
rifle.
Oh, I want it, Chris. I want it bad. It's about $700 or $800, but it's a badass. And I'm talking about.
It is.
I mean, it has big magazines. Talking about magazines, tell you this fucking thing. But this is a non-lethal weapon.
Right.
Categorized.
It's very, very good. It's a great non-lethal weapon that you can persuade people not to come any closer.
Now
and it'll do its job.
This is just a regular projectile, but they do come in different types. It's the size of a marble, and it's a special CO2 cartridge. And let me tell you, this is gonna hurt big time.
You're not gonna shoot yourself with it.
No, but I was doing target practice outside.
Yeah.
And I set up a bottle, but I had a wood board behind it. What a mistake that was.
Did it bounce back?
Oh, fuck yeah. It almost broke the window of my car.
Yeah, that rubber bullet doesn't mean that it's soft.
Oh, my God. I was like, holy shit. It came like right back at me. What a dumbass move that was.
Let me give you a
now
little
I use an old
They're supposed
foam
to
mattress thing. Do you know the memory foam?
Yeah.
I put it over the board, and it absorbs into the memory foam.
There you go.
It just drops into the grass because these fuckers are expensive. These are
Oh,
expensive.
no, it's not cheap.
I don't want to lose these because they're reusable. This is like $50-$60 for one of these jars.
Right.
So, when I'm practicing, it's not like I want them shooting off into the woods because that's why I put the board up. I didn't want to lose the projectiles. I want to be able to have them fall to the ground so I can pick them up after. But that first shot, when that shit ricocheted and went over my car and past my head, it's like, holy shit, that's powerful. Yeah. Anyway, Chris, have a great night. And Chris will be back from time to time. And maybe we'll get John Sneddon on and maybe Jake and some others that are involved with the police shows.
Absolutely.
Marianne, Rob. We'll get a few on here and we'll talk more about law enforcement. And even MUFON. Maybe we'll get a few of the MUFON people on. Anyway, Chris, love to you and the family.
Night.
Have a great night, and we'll do it again soon. And call me.
Take care.
Later.
Bye.
Bye. So that is Chris DePerno. That was his guest image. He's great. He's a great person. He is one, like you could tell, he's one of those people that you want in the foxhole with you. And that's the kind of person you want, just like that. Dead serious. That was an hour and a half. Hi Kendrick. What the hell does that do that? No. But he's a great person, great friend, and I value his. He is like a mentor to me. He's the person I talk to when I need to talk to somebody. I talk to Chris. I mean, I can't talk to Mom. Oh, speaking of Mom, as far as the topic too, don't get Mom started with COVID in China. Oh my God, she's all about that. China. And everything that happens now, it's probably China doing it. Mom took that to a whole level. I'm serious. Don't bring it up. It doesn't. I haven't brought that up in here. The thing that I'm dealing with is RSV. I had COVID twice. And I didn't even know I had it until I tested it. And because I had like a runny nose. And this RSV has killed me way worse than COVID twice did. Combined. That was nothing. COVID was nothing. This was a horrific experience dealing with this RSV. There's still a little there, and the doctor told me 2 to 3 months. No, I didn't make the dip yet. Fuck. Just remember that. But I did do something tonight. Bad boy. Bad boy. Oh my God, I'm thinking of Bad Boys. What you gonna do? Oh my God. So, yes, I did it. I did it. If I'm always here, he would say, here we go. I bought that today. I bought that today. It's coming Wednesday. But I can reverse it. I talked to a person, a representative. That's a righty setup. I need it for a lefty. And it'll work. You just put, you see how it's all mounted on those bars? All you do is put it on the other side. And you reverse it. No, I'm going to pack up this drum set. Store it in the shed. Pack it up. Take it apart. But believe me, a drum set, the things that take up the space really is, the cymbals break down. That's easy. It's just stacking and storing the toms, the bass drum, the snare. But that's not as bad as it sounds. I do need a new shed, you know that? But there's a lot of shit in that shed that has to be thrown out. And that's coming. And plus Tom Reed's telescope is in my shed, which is taking up a quarter. Because it's in two huge boxes. So that's going to make some room. So yeah, I got this thing. Oh, I cannot wait to play with this, because then I can play at night. It makes no sound. It'll be plugged right into the mixer board. And it's got so many programmable tones and sounds. Tom, look at this. Look at that. There's different sounds. Oh, I am going to have a fucking blast with this. No doubt about it. It's a mesh. It doesn't make sound. It's a mesh head. Now I'm wondering, when that breaks, how much that's going to cost. I put a 3-year warranty on it. It's nice. Nice. And the foot pedal is my concern. So now what I have to buy, what do you think I need to buy now? Other than the set, I don't know if it comes with sticks. I would assume it does. But you know what I have to buy now? A rug, a carpet for this area to put it on so it doesn't slide. So I got to measure this. The alien got to go. I don't think the alien's going to stay there anymore. The alien's going to have to go. My friend Paul back there, he's going to have to go. I don't know if he's going to be able to stay there. He might. Now, believe it or not, the diameter is smaller than the heads than an actual set. So, and it doesn't have the big bass drum. It actually might fit the way those bars can go into the corner, like at that angle. It might fit. I won't know until I build the set. You know what? I have a very bad habit. See, plus time was of the issue of cutting people off. I always do that. Mark D'Antonio, Axe Kendrick. I always had that bad habit of cutting people off. That is definitely one of my worst characteristics. And I'll be the first to admit it, because I know I have that problem. But I'm also trying to rush it because I'm trying to get everybody's comments in the chat. I'm trying to get to everything. And I don't want to keep the guy on all night. So that's what I'm thinking too. I have to move on to the next thing. And believe it or not, as a host, sometimes a host will know this. Sometimes a guest goes off on, not that Chris was, because Chris was on point all the time. But you have to be able to steer the conversation and be able to. I've seen hosts where they just stand by and let the person keep going and going and going. You got to step in. You got to cut them. You have to find a way. You know, that's important, but I overdo it. That's a fact. So Amol, get ready to be driven to the brink of insanity with this drum set, because you know that at night I'm gonna be playing that shit. This is a new toy coming. It is easy to go off on a different tangent. Very easy. You have to steer the conversation. And you also have to be ready to come back with a talking point. You know, it's got to be mutual. Both people have to bounce off each other in a conversation. A lot of, there's different skill sets involved. Like you see me, I mess around here. When I'm streaming, I joke around, I game, I drink, I do this. This is my relaxation time. But when the switch has to be turned on, it's game on. Let's go. So, there's the serious side and then there's the chill side. This is the chill side. Normally. Gaming, skywatches, whatever, music. But when it's time to get serious, we can do that. And that was a really good conversation back and forth just now, I thought. And you all made great comments. Different ideas, different opinions, different perspectives are very important. That's the dialogue that is needed. People got to just stop talking. They have to also start listening. And counter in a respectful way. Dialogue is important. Communication is important. Having a forum discussing this is important. So, and I try to be objective. I try to look at things from different sides. Like before Kevin came in, he said the schools are going to look like prisons. Didn't I say that before he got here? People are going to say the schools are going to be looking like prisons soon. And I was just saying that as a talking point because there are people that are going to say that. And then Kevin came in and made that point exactly. It's like, where do you draw the line? Now, again, and just to get back to it quick, I do believe there should be an automatic lockdown. Automatic on all classrooms. Every fucking door. Maybe it's done individually by room, but there has to be a way to automatically lock those doors, bolt lock them, so the entry can be had. And even like what Chris said, if there's an active shooter over the doors, have something that rolls down like a Kevlar thing, because they can shoot the door. But like a Kevlar thing that comes down over the door from the inside. It'll be expensive. But it's an important conversation to have. I'm not saying that this should be implemented. I would agree to something like that. To that being done. People say, well, you have kids? No, but I pay school taxes. A lot of it. Thousands per year. So I have a say as a taxpayer. How's that? Because there's always going to be a counter. Excuse me, a counter point. Of course, that's good. That's important. And like Andy says, a video in every room. Now, there's a thing with that. The privacy of the children. Now, only certain people would have access, obviously security, to that video. But there's going to be all kinds of hell raised. I don't want my kid on camera being recorded. That's going to come up. That. So, this is what I mean. For everything, any idea, there's going to be a counter narrative. And you have to respect their opinion and try to find a way to resolve it. Exactly. Privacy laws with minors. And minors. Absolutely. So you think all parents are going to be on board with that? No way. That. So, again, there's different, like what Kathy just said. Teachers might not want themselves on camera, especially not the great teachers. But there are different, it opens up Pandora's box on all the different points of view that are going to come from just one thing like that. Cameras in every room. Now you want to lock all the doors? Do you know what they're going to say? That's a fire hazard. Where's the emergency exit? Do you know that's going to come up? Things like that, right? That's common sense. So it might sound easy to say to implement something like that, but there's going to be a lot of different perspectives and different opinions and different ideas why that's not such a good idea. So, you know, it could be a real problem, yeah. But I mean, I don't know. I remember, in some areas, a small school, it depends on the school itself. I mean, I cannot see that happening in my old high school. They have police there in front of the school. I mean, I bet you if I did a Google Earth on my high school, there's probably police vehicles right in front of the school in the picture because they always have them. I'm actually going to do that. I'm curious. And that shit never existed when I was in school. It has to be now because of what goes on in the schools. And it's sad. But they have to be realistic and they have to prepare. They could have metal detectors. They could have all that shit. What is the creature floating around? That's a zombie that I'm about to play. It's kind of graphic, isn't it? This is Dead Island 2. That's funny, X. It's just been circling there. He's spinning in. See, you went to Lehman. You know how it was. You know how crazy that shit was. And you know how the police are always in front. So I'm not talking. He went to that school. He knows exactly what I'm talking about. Okay, so the front of the school is right here. I may be wrong. I got a ticket here the other day. $50. I was pissed. So they put a fucking camera. When I was coming back from that concert in the city, they put a camera there. And I was doing 37 in a 25 school zone at midnight. Really? 25 because it's a school zone at midnight? Like there's fucking students walking in front of the school at 12 in the morning? Give me a break. But this is the school. Maybe there's no police in front on this photo. That'd be interesting. Come on. I'm shocked. Usually, there's always police in front of the school. Not when Google Earth was going there. It's kind of bizarre. But that's the high school. I'm sure they've got police presence. They used to. I don't know about anymore. Budget cuts. Just like Chris was saying, cuts. I wouldn't be surprised. So that's my old high school, and that's actually C's old high school too. Right there. In the BX. So I got a ticket there, these fuckers. It was like a trap. And they, in the city, for revenue, they got it. They got cameras at the lights. Everywhere. There's cameras everywhere in New York City. They just want that revenue. Oh my gosh. Money, money, money. That's what it's all about. When you're in the city, now I know, I learned my lesson. I haven't gotten a ticket in years. First, I go to fucking New York City, I get a ticket. Up here, it's nice. Down there, it's insane. So, another reason I hate going into the city. Even more now. I was coming from White Castle, getting on the highway to come home. And I see these flashes. I thought it was lightning. What was that? What the hell was that? And Kendrick says, oh, you probably just got a ticket. Really? So, yeah, that's what it was. And he was right. Got it in the mail a week later. Photos and everything. Fuckers. So yeah, I'm not a fan of New York City at all. No way. Anyway, enough bullshitting. Oh, I can't wait to get that drum set. Oh, what is Andy sending me? Oh shit, Eric. Fuck. I was on with the Perno. LMAO, just seen this. Chris and I spoke for 100 minutes. Okay, that's just Eric in Utah. Okay. Where are we now? If they ain't got the fear, I mean, things are just crazy, man. Crazy times. Wild. But like I said, here, I live in peace. I know that many of you do live in peace. Thank God. We don't have to deal with this insanity that's out there in a lot of places, too. But I have no complaints about where I live, what's going on here at all. Zero. Everything is taken care of here. No crime has happened here, not in my area. And the whole time I've been living here, 16 years. No burglary, no nothing. Not that I'm aware of. They take care of the streets, the roads, whether it's paving, repairing, cutting trees, snow removal. So I cannot complain about anything that goes on here. They're on top of everything. There is one issue, though, that's going on. That fucking driveway on the top with all that water coming across the road and down my driveway. My neighbor and I'm waiting for the next heavy thunderstorm to film the river of water crossing the street. Because the town has to see this and they got to do something about it. Because this is not, it's tearing up our pavement, our asphalt, the water, the river of water. They got to do something about this. Amo. Well, again, just because nothing's happened doesn't mean nothing's going to happen. And you have to put all the safety measures in place in the event that something does happen. Because you're a fool if you're not prepared. So, though I say nothing's happened here that I'm aware of, that doesn't mean that something cannot happen tonight. You never know. But I say that I live in a good area. Thank God. So, yeah, the weather was bad down. I looked at the radar earlier today. It was pretty nasty down south. Northern Texas. I don't know what it's like now, but it's nighttime. Daylight heating is healing. Daylight heating is done. That doesn't matter because bad storms can exist at night as well. Unfortunately, the tornadoes that happened at night. That's so horrible. Horrible. Fuck. I'm already mentally thinking about, and I cannot compare what happens up here to down there, but I'm already thinking about what's going to happen here this summer with these storms. It is still stormy action in Texas right now. There's actually a lot of... Wow, there are some nasty storms in Texas right now. That is a lot of lightning activity right now. And just the way the line looks, it looks like it could be pushing southward, but maybe also be going northeast, northeast. I'm gonna look at the radar loop. Yeah, I knew these were coming down. They're developing. Look at that. See, they're sinking to the south. I thought they would, just the way the line looked. But generally moving east. There is some nasty storms here. Look at that. Holy shit. Those do not look. See, now there's a little slight weakening. See, there's weakening. They're slightly weakening, thank God. But see, so you got to watch these for any activity. Like, that's a nasty cell in Louisiana. But again, see the color? It's weakening. They could definitely get, and they can intensify too, but that was a little scary earlier. They're weakening. That's good. There's some more storms here going into Georgia. But you expect that this time of year down there. But nothing. That's a nasty cell there too. But again, it's nighttime. They tend to weaken. That's a nasty little cell right there. That's a nasty little cell. Small but nasty. But other than that, up here we had rain earlier. It's moving away. Still cloudy. It's supposed to rain here like for the next 5 days. It's insane. The matter of fact, let me see the satellite. Let's see what the weather looks like. What time is it? It's early. See, a lot of the... This is the rain here. It's moving off. It's clearing up. Let's see what's going on in Churchill. Oh, I can tell already. Churchill's probably a nightmare. Come on, come on. Come on, map. Churchill looks clear. Oh, Churchill looks clear. Let's go look. That guy was driving me and Kathy last night crazy, moving it around. Oh, Churchill does not look clear. Churchill looks like it's got like some fog going on or something. Visibility is low. Oh, it's fucking snowing. It's fucking snowing. But that doesn't make sense unless this is not live. It's 10:30. It's snowing. You can see the snow on the screen. But the radar, the satellite imagery showed nothing. That could just be moisture coming in off the water, off the lake. If I had to guess. Let me look at that again. Yeah, there's some moisture here. Offshore. Let's see which way this is moving. Yeah. It's there. You could definitely see it. When the early satellite imagery, you could see it. They're sucked in. Oh well. Now this game is crazy, but I'm gonna play for a little while. Just for a little while. I get tired of talking too. What the fuck was that? Full screen. All right. I didn't even get to eat. Ah. He's not leaving. He does that to Kathy all the time. Because he figures Kathy will be leaving. I don't know where I left off. Where the fuck am I? My crowbar is in bad shape.
Ah, blissful suburbia. Let's hope Michael's just mowing the lawn.
We went the wrong way. Look at that fucker running at me.
Here we go. Le house de Michael.
What the fuck just happened? How did I die? He exploded? How did that just happen? He must have been loaded with weapons. Oh shit, she ducked me. Holy shit. Oh shit, one shot, I'm dead. Oh, I must have no health. That's what it's gotta be. Bullshit, I'm full health. How the hell did that happen? What are the zombies on some steroids over here or something? What the hell's going on? One shot, I'm dead? How does that happen? What the fuck is going on? We're gonna have to step up the weapon. How come it didn't switch? How do I do it? I still got a crowbar in my fucking hand. I don't know if I want to mess with her. I'm serious. I wonder if there's anything here. Yes, there is. No. I wonder how I can change the weapon. I was waiting for a fucking zombie to pop out of there. We're going the wrong way again.
Well, something's attracting those munchers.
shit, I can't get in. Oh my god! Oh, they're everywhere! Oh shit! Here, walk through that fog. Oh shit. Some of them are dying from that. Let's make them walk in there again. We gotta go through the window.
Hello, Michael. It's me, Jacob. Fairly fresh. Someone was here recently. Mental of the year. Hollywood careers undressed. I thought we were done with that crap. All this blood. But whose?
As long as it's not yours, we're all good to go.
Locked.
Look for spare keys.
Michael? You in there, mate? He could be in there, bleeding out. Where would you put house keys? Jessie's note says she hung up the keys, but no joy. Where are they?
How fucking lovely.
I see. Keys got knocked off the hook in the struggle.
Oh my god, this game is gonna make me drink.
Signed vinyl OSTs. You classy fella, Mike. Okay, Michael.
Oh my god! Holy shit! Oh shit, where's my weapons? Hold Y to open your wheel. That's how you do it.
No, Michael. Which means he could still be alive. Maybe he went to Jessie's.
Oh, hell no. Pick that back up. Wait a minute, wait a minute. Where's that weapon? Now we're talking.
Yeah, Michael.
Ooh, a map.
Why would Michael have a map to a movie lot out? Hell, hundreds of cards in here. I don't have time for this. Nice work, Michael.
Alright, which way are we going? Figure out where Jessie lives. Who the fuck is Jessie? Now we gotta go house to house?
Oh, hey, Michael. This is Roxanne Kwan. If Jess is there studying, could you tell her to be back here by 8? I don't want her to miss the party. Probably best you don't come, though. After, you know. Okay. Bye.
Jessie Kwan. She might know where Michael is.
Why is it telling me to go back there? am I missing? Why did you tell me to go back there? We did this already.
Bingo. Jesse Kwan lives just up the street. Michael left via the window. Well, when in Rome.
Oh shit, how are we getting out of here? I don't think that's a good idea. Look at them all. That's how. Come on! Oh, for real? Oh, I like that. Can we close the door? No? Close the fucking door! Gotta be another one. No? Oh my god! Oh my fucking heart. Holy shit! Wow. That did catch. Holy shit. Now hold the fuck on. Oh! It's the surfer dude again. Fucking with me. Yo.
You got the video?
Did I get the video?
Not the video from my behalf.
No, that's Chanel. Yes, I did. I got it.
I'm cleaning the basketball.
I'm gonna start downloading it now. You sent one, right? You sent one? I got it. Do me a big favor. Make me a bowl of chili with shredded cheddar cheese on it. Because I'm gonna eat it with crackers. Hold on, I gotta do something quick for somebody. Oh, that's right. It's not gonna come up like that. What? Oh, no, 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 no. Tell you, Andy, I saw you finish. Alright, we're back. That has to be Keith, if I had to guess. That has to be Keith. That is definitely a Keith name. For sure. Where am I? Not a good idea. I saw somebody up there, yep. We're not gonna be caught again where I almost have a heart attack playing a video game. Here we go. Oh, we did it again! Died! Almost. Holy fuck. Here they come. I thought that said Skype. I was gonna say what? Alright, we have a lot of shit going on here. A lot. Oh, that one just jumped off the railing. shit, where do we gotta go? We're fucking far from where we need to be.
Sorry, zombie. Party's over.
The fuck?
I'm no
Is there the
zombie.
pizza?
Hey, do you have pizza?
Oh my
If I
god.
do, you'll let me in.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
right,
if I
the
open
video-
this door, a whole load of zombies
the
might
breathing.
rush in, and I'm pretty sure that's a bad
The
thing.
breathing is
So
intense.
close the gate. Et voila.
Oh, yeah. Well, we're having this big party, right? And some of the guys, not me, were riding on the gate, and it broke. Now, there's a whole bunch of spares in the garage, but it's like full of riffraff.
Okay. Subtle hint taken.
Oh, killer.
What's
I'll
up,
hit the garage
Kira?
button. You bounce the party crashers and fix things up. And then, dude, mi casa is your casa. Hey, Roxy, we got company. Find your jeans.
Fuck is my underwear?
Now there's a poke in Darwin's eye. Hello, riffraff.
Of course, there's gonna be no fucking breaker.
Nice. Every zombie in the neighborhood will try to crash this gig. Okay, new tactic. Close the gates.
For real.
Sorry, zombie.
I'm no zombie. Hello, riffraff. Nice. Every zombie in the neighborhood will try to crash this gig. Okay, new tactic. Close the gates first, then mop up the stragglers.
Where the fuck is the breaker?
Gotcha.
Another one? What the fuck happened to the breaker? What happened to the breaker? I had it. That is rigged. That was rigged. This is Dead Island 2, Kira. Unbelievable.
Sorry.
Hello, riffraff. Nice. Every zombie in the neighborhood will try to crash this gig. Okay, new tactic. Close the gates first, then mop up the stragglers. Gotcha.
Fork for you. You want a fork?
Yeah. Melt it. Microwave. Melt the cheese.
Microwave? How many seconds?
Like 1 minute. Where is it? I dropped it. Where is it? What the fuck did I do with it? Oh shit. Thank you. Wow. What's that? What, I can't jump with it? Is that what the fuck? Oh no. Where the fuck am I? I'm fucked. I am fucked. I went over the wall. Dead. Why is he telling me to go that way now? Now it changed. Do we gotta kill them? Now it says 52. Fuck it. It's not him because it's not getting closer with the number. Oh, yes, it was.
Lock the bloody door, people.
Hey,
Wow.
were you getting the pizza or were you fighting zombies?
No fail there, Mo.
Do I have pizza?
All right.
You say pizza?
No
I am
fail.
this close.
Sorry, man. Big evacuation party, you know. Oh, shit. We gotta get to the evac. Roxy? Roxy, hey. Come on,
Almost.
babe. No time to sleep. We gotta evacuate. Hey, Jesse, pack your shit. We're going.
Rav, you missed the evacuation.
Oh, my fucking skull. Boom! Gods and whiskey.
Slept through another alarm. Hey, at least we got supplies for a few months.
Nice. No worries about food.
Food?
Not if you break them all.
Okay, we're done. Michael Anders. Where is he?
What do you want with that stiff?
They don't get along.
Uh-oh.
You don't call the lead singer of Gods and Whiskey a has-been.
Damn right.
The correct term is was-been.
Baked bean.
Dead bean.
Okay.
That was
Jesse
close.
might know.
That was
Oh, she's
almost
not
fail.
here. Huh. I'm not getting that feeling of disapproval.
Another note.
Dear Mother, if you must have sex at 3 a.m, please can you refrain from moaning and screaming quite so loudly?
That was you. Say she's gone up the hill to help a friend.
Uh-oh.
Your daughter's out there. Alone.
Hey, she's smart. She's in med school.
Real sneaky, too.
You
Every
want to
time
go
I turn
outside,
around, it's
don't
like,
you?
whoa, she's right there.
Is that what you want?
I've got to
You
find
want to
her.
go outside?
Ah, cool. Looks like we're gonna have the
Is that what you
place
want? You wanna
to
go outside?
ourselves.
No. I need to get my head together.
Hey, come on, she's gonna be okay. They're gonna find her. Come on, let's, like, plan and shit.
Yeah, play to our strengths. Thanks. Let's hear your big plan then.
Let me see Jesse's notes.
Yeah, cool.
We ain't dropping that shit. Upbeat defense name. Lock or dodge regains health. Oh, fuck yes. What's the other card? Wait a minute, what's this? Can't do it. It's locked. There's more. Who gives a fuck?
Oh, it's on the floor there. Okay then, go on.
I thought maybe you could do the thinking. I'll draw the map.
She likes hanging out
Right.
with construction workers.
So we need... Oh yeah, they were renovating one of the big houses up the hill, and the crew will hold up inside. You can't miss it.
Oh, look what they got. Mine is a little bit taller.
Jessie will be fine. She has one of those things in your head for thinking. She remembers shit. Not like me. I can't even remember what I had for...
That's funny.
What do you call it?
That is funny.
Breakfast, genius.
I do got
when was the
Modern
last
Warfare
time we
2
even
now.
had breakfast?
I
We'd
do
have
have
to
it.
be up before noon for that.
Hey, I see the sunrise most every day.
If you don't sleep, it doesn't count.
Oh, yeah? And who made you, like, ruler of rules?
All right, let's
Babe,
go.
I know you're stressing, but this is Jessie we're talking about.
Righto. Catch you later.
Just so you know. See it? It's right there. Oh my god! I want to see if that really works. I don't see health healing.
This whole neighborhood is like the least popular music festival ever.
Ma! Give me the nachos that you have in your room.
Well, I have to feed the cats so they come to
Let me lock. That was not good. That is not good. This isn't a place in. Son of a bitch.
tripwires connected to shotguns.
Wow. Oh my God. Mira, get me the nachos that you have in your room open. I know. Can you get it for me? How do people survive? Can you get me that, please?
This is sad.
All right, Mom, I'm playing the game.
Traps all over.
Get me those nachos.
Someone's
They're in your
busy.
room. 'Cause I want to eat the chili with that. Gotta watch out for these tripwires.
Hey, Jesse. You there, go. Okay, now what?
Oh, tripwire. How did it say to detonate? It said how to detonate. I forgot now. We can't go through that. Maybe I could use something to throw. Hold LT and tap.
No reactions to the shotgun blasts. Where are you, Jesse?
Hell no. What is that? Fuck is that? Fuck!
This party's way past the close. Jesse, you in there?
Hey, turn the music off. It's drawing them to us.
Thank you. Break. Break time. What?
Once I put it in his mouth, because he doesn't punch it. Yeah, you Don't go down.
He wants to go outside. That's what he wants.
What do you mean you got a chip here?
What?
You say you have a chip.
No, I just made the chili. I didn't make the tip. This is chili.
Yeah.
You could do it the same way. Heat up some chili, and you take the things and you eat it like that. Nah, the chili I made. Put it in a bowl, heat it up, put melted cheese on it, and use it as a dip.
You need a chip.
See? The chili.
Oh, you mean the thing, oh, okay.
Eat. I think Tycho's hungry. Ma, Tycho's hungry.
Do you want to go outside, Tycho?
No, he's hungry. Ma, Tycho's hungry.
Are you hungry, Tycho?
Go ahead. Mommy's gonna feed you.
I'll
Look,
feed you, Tycho.
he's hungry.
Come on, let's go, Tycho. You gonna eat?
What? Tycho's hungry, ma.
Where's the hot dog, Tycho?
Go ahead, do it. That's what it is. Only thing is, this is hard to do with cheese melted on it. Amol, you can make this too, the vegan style. Oh, that's so good. Ma! Please give me some soda in a glass, please. Oh, this is awesome with the tortillas. So this is a chili I made yesterday. And it is delicious. I don't want to tease him. Oh man, I need a napkin. Let me go. All right, I can't touch anything. Oh. Come on. You want to go outside? Let's go. That's what he wants. Alright, go. Mommy's got food for you. Go ahead. Mommy's gonna feed you. Let me close the door. He's not gonna let me eat in peace. You guys got both jacked. I know, but he took both of your food today. That's too funny. The dog got your food, both of you. Unbelievable. Ah, you guys got punked by Tycho, both of you. He took their food this morning, or bacon, off their plates today. They both left their plates on the counter, and he went up and took the bacon off the plates. And I forgot the fucking napkin. Ma, paper towel. I need it. Give me paper towel. I got soda. I found it. Put that soda in this refrigerator, though. I need it here. There's only a little left in this bottle. On the door. Ma, you gotta try that. The chili with the chips. Oh my God. I'm not kidding. Ma, I am not kidding. It's delicious. Heat up a bowl of chili. Sprinkle some cheddar cheese on it. And then you get the chips and you dip it. You can do whatever you want. I don't need hot sauce. I don't think so. There might be. You gotta look for it. I don't know. It's delicious. What do I do? Is she above? What the fuck is going on here? What am I missing?
Sweet silence. Lovely.
Oh shit. Whatever I just did was the right thing to do. That was bizarre. That was not intentional.
Whew. Sure glad you showed up. I'm Jesse.
Jacob. Mom called me Jay. I'm looking for Michael.
Oh, he never mentioned you.
I really didn't mean to do that.
We've been bursting zombies together since way back.
You bonded over not being dead?
Doesn't everyone? Where is he?
On his way to Monarch Studios.
The movie lot? Why?
He had to get something important.
Godzilla.
So I made a lot of noise to distract all the zombies, and Michael snuck through the gate to the studio access road. My plan was to hang out with the construction guys till the zombies got bored and left.
Good night,
The
Ed.
construction guys are now zombie guys.
Well, obviously I didn't know about that. They were fine yesterday.
Listen, your mum's worried about you.
Oh, they regained consciousness, did they? You know, she was perfectly sensible before she met Ricky. Now it's like trying to keep a couple of wasted teenagers alive.
Wasted teenagers are surprisingly resilient.
I just hope Michael comes back. I miss having someone intelligent to talk to.
You need a chaperone?
I'm pretty sneaky when Michael's not galumphing along next to me. You can get going.
I like you, Jesse Kwan. Stay smart.
I feel like Ronald now. I was just too lazy to get up and get another glass. Too many trips back and forth. Took him outside. Repair this first. We're not scrapping that. Get the fuck out of here. See if we can make some modifications. We can do. I want to save this shit. Oh, I have in the red anyway.
Monarch Studios. Suppose I better take the tour. Another welcoming committee.
They don't like the toxic. But neither do I.
Lovely. Form an orderly queue, please.
Sinister cry. Sinister cry. Holy shit! I did not see that. I did not see that. No. No, don't bother me. Can't jump on that? Fucking really? You can jump on everything else, but you can't do that. Run, dude, run. was that about? I went back the wrong way? Did I just fucking
Form an
do
orderly
that?
queue, please.
I fucking did. Wow, I went back the wrong fucking way. More dancing zombies. I got a lot of progress done.
Looks like the movie lot up ahead. Michael wouldn't have the key to the main gate. So if he's here, he got in some other way. Michael's a born survivor. He'd take the sneaky route.
Freedom rap. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. It's funny, sometimes the messages I get, they're not, I can't read them on. He's not happy. Mike, you sound like a mole now. Saturday, you know I see Brit Floyd. I get to meet the band too. That place in Connecticut looks small. Doesn't look like a big venue. The Toyota Oakdale Theater doesn't look big on the images on Google, but once I'm there, I'm sure it's probably big. But it's gonna take me an hour and a half to get there. I have to leave at 2:30 because you can only go in from 4:30 to 4:45 for the pre-show too. They're gonna play 2 songs that the public won't see. VIP. I got some good stuff to. I paid for it, but they're doing 50 years of Dark Side. So they're probably gonna do a lot of Dark Side of the Moon, if not the whole freaking thing. So it should be really good. Saturday night. Matter of fact, I'm gonna get off of YouTube and go to Rumble just for a few more minutes because I'm gonna get off soon. I'm tired, but I want to play a little more game. Lady V, if you're still there, have a great night. Anybody watching on YouTube, because I want to hear and watch a Brit Floyd video, just to get myself reaccustomed to them. So have a great night on YouTube. We're going to we're on Rumble, Trovo, Twitch. So here we go. Bye bye.